If you're a heating air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what do you need to know about closing and your participation in this event? And why does it matter? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to life for HVAC technician sales secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you closer. So, everybody wants to get the deal. I want the deal. You want the deal, right? But there's some things that you need to know. And I want to give you fair warning of a couple of things that most people don't know because they haven't sat through as many sales calls as I have, and they don't take notes like I do. So if you break up your call into segments, you've got your introductory phase is where you knock on the door and you're like, hey, I'm here for whatever. You've got your rapport stage where like, you like the ocean? I like the ocean. You like poke? I like poke. And if you don't know, that's ahi tuna. Fantastic stuff, right? Next, you got the discovery phase. Why do you like this? Why do you not like this? Who's involved? Then you got your presentation phase. Here's what I got for you, right? Here's my stuff. Here's my air conditioner. Here's my furnace. Here's my water heater. Here's my boiler. Here's my plumbing package. Here's my water package. Here's the roof. Here's the siding. Here's the windows, whatever you happen to sell, right? And then you got the objection phase, and then you got the closing phase. Now, one of the things, there's like one thing that you need to know is that you, as a salesperson, really got to be the same person through the entire process. Hi, I'm Scott. I am going to be Scott all the way through. What I'm not going to do is show up and be like, hi, I'm Scott. And then at the last minute, when it's into the objection phase or the closing phase, be like, hi, I'm Bob. I'm a different dude, right? See how weird that feels? You know, there's a point where I see salespeople in all realms struggle that all these things are easy, right? The conversation, the presentation, the asking questions, but what happens is the pressure goes up towards the objections and the close. And this is why you should join HVAC Tech Secrets. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. Okay, so as the pressure goes up in the close, like you're like pressure going up in the close, your speed tends to go up. Your speed tends to go up because you're getting close to what you have done. And so you have to manage your resources. And this is something that I found out the hard way. Hi, I'm Scott. On average, I screw up 4 times a day. I really do, right? I'm not perfect. I still lose deals, but I take really good notes. And so as you get towards the end of your sales call, you have a propensity to move faster. You have a propensity to want to talk faster and close the deal. And in all realities, as you get towards the end of the call is where you're going to need the most amount of patience, right? Instead of speeding up, you're going to want to slow down. You're going to want to take your time. You're going to want to be patient throughout the entire process. So with that being said, I'm going to give you a stat that most people have no idea what this number is, okay? Let's say that your presentation, you are all in for 1 hour. 1 hour. If you're all in for 1 hour, which is 60 minutes, you need roughly 10% of that much time to close the deal and sometimes deal with objections, right? You say, hey, here's my widget, my gizmo, and it happens to be $20,000 or $196 a month. Once that or $196 a month comes out of your mouth, you have to have content for about 6 minutes. You have to be able to have this conversation for 6 minutes. So if your sales call is this long and you are super pumped up and you're like, yes, I'm the greatest thing ever. And then all of a sudden you get to the end and you don't have enough energy reserves, you have to be aware that there's a higher chance that you're going to lose that deal. Or you start getting to this end and you get impatient. Like I did this a lot. I did this a lot in the early part of my sales career. I got kicked out of a lot of houses because I was super impatient. I thought, because nobody told me, I thought, ask for the sale and then beat the people over the head with a hammer, so to speak, to try to keep closing and try to keep closing and try to keep closing. And what that does is you have, for this much time, you're like, hi, I'm Scott. And then over here, you're like, hi, I'm Bob. We are going to close the deal. And the person's like, what just happened? Right? Because you're speeding up trying to get to the end of the deal. But in all realities, you should slow down. So if you have a 90-minute presentation, you need roughly 9 minutes of content, of conversation. And you're like, Scott, what if I give a 6-hour presentation? I'd be like, I feel your pain, a 6-hour presentation. You do not need a 1-hour closing process. You need to redesign your sales presentation to not take 6 hours, right? That's almost a full work day. No 6-hour presentations. Don't do it, okay? So be aware that if you break up your day or your appointment into, there's introduction, rapport building, discovery, presentation, objections, and then you get to the close, you have to have the appropriate amount of content and the appropriate amount of patience. Patience and content are the two things. You're going to need two things for you to get there. And you're like, Scott, what kind of content do I need? You need better questions. You need stories. You need the ability to have some word tracks. Like, okay, but we can't do that. Here's what we could do. It's impossible unless we do what? There's content that you have to have, and you're going to find that term telling isn't selling really comes in handy here, that you really need to slow things down and get used to questions. So here's what I'm going to tell you to do. Come up with roughly 8 to 10 closing questions that you could use, 8 to 10, and stick with about 3 of them. And you're going to find that in traditional consumer to salesperson negotiations, there's roughly 3 volleys of information. $20,000. I don't want to pay $20,000. I want to pay $16,000. $19,000. I don't want to pay $19,000. I want to pay $17,000. $18,500. $18,500 sounds good. In whatever way you do it. I'm just illustrating that this is the process that typically goes back and forth. And yes, objection handling is different in my mind than actually closing the sale and holding on to profits or gross or whatever way you want to say it. So here is the key takeaway for you for sticking around. 1, you need to be the same person through the entire call. 2, you have to be patient. You can't be Scott right here or whatever your name is, and then Bob right here or whatever your name is, because here's what happens. It's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And 3, you have to have the content. You have to have the ability to have the conversations, to be able to go back and forth. These are the tools that you need in order to close deals. There you go. You got 1 of 2 things to do from here. Just 1 of 2. Find the subscribe button, click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update, or hit follow. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.